So hello everyone, my name's Nikki. I'm a little bit strange. I'm trying to become a storybook. So I've come to the Lytham Festival of Stories to capture stories, and hopefully I'll be on my way. And I have found an amazing book in the form of Alex. Alex is going to introduce herself and say a little bit about what she does, and then I'm going to ask her some questions. Okay?
So my name's Alex O'Toole and I am the producer of Festival of Stories. Festival of Stories is a festival of storytelling of all different types. We have author events, we have theatre performances, we have workshops, all kinds of things. I'm also the writer behind The Shrimper's Daughter and behind the Miss Spellbound Suitcase Stories concept as well.
Okay, great. I mean, I've got some videos that I'm going to put up of The Shrimper's Daughter speaking to the cast who are speaking in character. I was part of the experience, and I'll call it an experience because it's outside in the forest.
Yeah.
So can you talk about a little bit about the inspiration behind it?
Yeah. About 2 years ago I received Arts Council funding to create a brand new fairy tale inspired by Lytham's heritage, and I ended up writing two stories. One was The Shrimper's Daughter, which was inspired by Lytham's shrimping heritage, and one was called The Beast of Lytham, which was inspired by a myth, a current myth that there is a beast wandering the streets of Lytham. Basically I chose fairy tales because fairy tales are usually the first stories that we as children hear. They often have a moral, they teach us things, and I wanted to make our heritage, our community's heritage, accessible to everyone, not just adults, so that was why I chose that form.
Great. This blog is for people who are first timers to reading fiction, fantasy and sci-fi and are looking for a way in, and also for people who come to reading later in life but really enjoy children's stories and fantasy worlds. So from your experience as a reader, can you give a top tip of where to start or a favourite book that you like?
Well, one of my all-time favourite books is I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith, because it is got that, it's written from the point of view of a child who is coming into her own, and she's witnessing all kinds of adult things happening, and it's set in the 20s, which is a particular favourite period of mine, and it's just a lovely, lovely book, and I read it every year. So for me that would be my top tip for a read, but to me any book that you read and enjoy, you can find inspiration in anything basically, and every book I read I learn something from it.
Fantastic. And you run an organisation called Fable Arts.
Yes.
It would be interesting to find out why you think stories are important, and what service you're trying to provide through Fable Arts to the public.
Well, I think stories are important because they connect us as human beings, they connect friendship groups, they connect families, they are what connects us to our own personal histories, and they're what we take into the future as well. So we are stories basically, and the reason I started it is because the community of Fylde, which is Fable, creates, delivers, promotes, develops storytelling activities for families and communities of the Fylde Coast and Lancashire. The reason I did it is because there isn't anything like that around here at all. There are lots of individual arts-based companies that focus on perhaps dance or visual arts, or there's nobody just looking at stories in whatever format that happens to be. So that's something that was close to my heart, and the big thing for me is about getting people connecting with each other, and I just think stories are the best way to do that.
Great. And finally, if you could be any type of book, what would you be?
Any type of book? I'd be a poetry book.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to pan over to The Shrimper's Daughter's father, a very proud man, likes a drink now and again, so if you want to find out a little bit more and listen to the cast speaking, check out the video.
Bye.